We are back with Black Clover's chapter 229. Cannot wait. I kind of been hyped about this chapter because we get to see the new time skip designs. And I want to say Asta does look more badass. So we even got a color spread. So some differences with Asta. He's got this whole robe thing. Looks a bit different. It looks a bit more like Yami's like shoulder things, and he looks even more ripped than he was. And Asta was ripped, like pre time skip. Now he looks even more ripped. And he's got a different design in his bandana, I've noticed. And yeah, he's got his abs out now for all to see. He definitely likes to flex those muscles he has. And then um yeah, so Asta has some pretty noticeable changes, but everyone else looks fairly similar. But I've noticed the main thing that everyone else has is the robes. Like Noel has the robes, and I can't really see any differences in Noel. And Nero looks the same, and Mimosa looks slightly different, but not that. Okay, so the changes aren't that drastic with these four. Well, Asta's is pretty drastic, but this chapter was pretty good. So we learned that the Spade Kingdom, they they have kind of like a mechanical moving fortress thing, and the way they power it is with human mana. As we can see, they just use these low level people, I mean low mana leveled people, as their energy source, and they have a disregard for life, which is kind of bad, and they're just using them until they die, just to power up the thing. And then we see a map of the entire Clover universe, which is pretty cool actually. So we got the four different kingdoms, and then we got this zone that kind of separates them. Actually, it kind of separates the Spade Kingdom from everyone else. But this is like no man's land, as it was called, which it separates uh, the kingdoms from each other, which is pretty good. But it doesn't. But that kind of makes sense. And then we also find out how big Spade's invasion is going. As you can see, the Diamond Kingdom has almost been completely swallowed up by the Spade Kingdom's influence. And now we think about it, in the first part when we had those Diamond and Clover conflicts, it would have been around the border of the Diamond and Kingdom countries. That's pretty cool. So yeah, and it's also blacked out, so I'm guessing there might be other lands we could explore later on. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, and then we see this panel of a zoom, like this guy going zoom, and I'm assuming that's Asta. And I don't know if Asta can surf on his sword, but that's the kind of feeling I have because he's the dude's zooming on something, and I know that's Asta for a chance. So I just want to know how he zoomed. And so we get this guy. So I think he's some fodder spade soldier. But yeah, the dude was he was a bit of a scumbag when he was just like, oh, we're gonna use all these people to power up the machine. And then he makes a personal reference to this young female, and he says something like, oh, I'm gonna use her, and which was indicative of rape. So yeah, I didn't expect that from Black Clover, to be honest. I thought that was a bit dark, but obviously Asta, the hero he is, he comes in for the save. And I like how the sword barely misses his face. It would have been nice if it hit him, to be honest. And this is one I thought was really cool. It seems Asta has control over his sword, a bit like Thor, like how he has control of his hammer. Because what do you call it? Asta pretty much throws up his in the air, and he calls demons like his sword back, and it just goes to his hand. So yeah, that's a bit like Thor's hammer. So that was pretty cool. So I'm guessing that's how he got there so quickly, because he was riding it like a surfboard, and that's pretty cool indeed. But we don't know if we can ride it like a surfboard, but I have a strong feeling he can. And pretty much this whole chapter is just a way of showing Asta's progress, as he completely one shots this random fodder spade soldier anyway. And then Asta's like, come at me all at once, every last one of you will need it. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, it was a good way to show off Asta's training, I guess. And then we get some more plot revelations as this random dude just turns up at the priest's, what do you call it? Yeah, he just turns up randomly at Asta's village on the doorsteps uh of the of his family, and he says, you know. So yeah, that's going to be quite interesting to see what that's all about. So I guess we're going to get more about Yuno's backstory, which will be very cool because Asta and Yuno's backstory are still quite mysterious, especially how they ended up at the orphanage in the first place. So I'm looking forward to that. And this was it. And yeah, I'm getting hyped for Black Clover. This is awesome. Yeah, that was it for me. Peace.